working.
All right, so we're going to do this in another take. This is take 2. Okay, I'm Kiana Shaw, CEO of Leadership Academy and the creator of the I Choose to Be a Lady movement. I teach teenagers all the things that they think they know so that they can leave your house, be productive citizens, and not return. I also help parents communicate effectively with their teenagers to bring love, joy, and harmony back to the house, because you know at that age, all y'all want to do is kill them. So I'm here. I'm so excited. If you guys saw my post yesterday with a photo of these two gentlemen, yay, Lamar Tyler, Chris Davis, you know that they are on my vision board. There are 6 men on my vision board. I have met 3 this weekend. Paul Bronson, Lamar Tyler, Chris Davis. I have not met Stedman or Robert Kiyosaki, and Steve Jobs is deceased.
We in good company, Chris. I thought it was going to be like, I ain't met Derek from Above the Cut Barbershop on MLK. I've not yet to meet Pastor Wilkes from Greater Mount Bethel Missionary. That's a solid 6. I'm excited about that.
Right? I thought that was a good 6.
Solid 6.
So earlier I was saying to Chris that I really got introduced to him in November. Was it November that you did the core training? Yep. In April Frank Hunt's community for her core. And Chris did a training on conversions and landing pages.
Yes.
And then I found out that April met Chris through Lamar, who I actually met last year. And I was telling Chris, I got like intimidation issues with you. Like,
what is that?
Like,
what is that?
I'd be like, I'd rather talk to his wife, Ronnie. Like, Lamar's like, I don't know.
Back.
It's intense.
April out this mother. April be like, what are you doing? You're not doing anything with your life. Get out of there. I'm cool.
You just said that to somebody in there.
I didn't say that. I don't remember that part. I blacked out. I was on stage. I blacked out. Came back too.
But I was telling you say something, I just be like, yes, sir. Like, I got that old slave mentality. Yes, sir. I'd rather talk to Ronnie.
No.
But shout out to Ronnie Tyler, because, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Ronnie Tyler.
Yep.
Because she is a great woman. I love her. I met her last year. We had a great conversation. But I wanted to talk to you guys because you're Black men holding a space, in a space where, at a time where there's just so much chaos and there's a lot of negativity, a lot of news that goes on about Black men and what's going on with them, and it's never about our businesses. And you guys have managed to like be moguls in this thing. So who wants to go first? First question. Who gets the first question?
I go first.
Okay. So how'd you get started? And tell us a little bit about you and your brand.
Okay, yeah. The quick story is my formal background is in electrical engineering. So I started out as an electrical engineer, and at some point figured out that wasn't what I wanted to do, and started entrepreneurship. Actually, the book that catapulted me from corporate world into my own thing, the entrepreneurial journey, was the 4-Hour Work Week. 4-Hour Work Week.
Which is on my book list now, because that was discussed this weekend.
Yes, it was the first time. Now, I had been doing automation, like programming chips, but I had never seen anybody apply it to business.
Okay.
And I was like, well, wait a minute. You can work 4 hours. It was like, it rocked everything that I knew to be true. So it was a very hard read, because it's like, I've gone to school for 5 years. Actually 6. I've got 2 degrees, and I'm an engineer working. I can't accept the fact that there's a better way.
Right.
Because then that's like, it's negating all my hard work. Like, you didn't have to do that. And I'm like, hold on, no, wait. So fast forward, I've taken all of that time and experience with being very technical and understanding technology and assessing the need at a much higher level, right? At a much human level. And that's businesses. So I was, as we all know, with any business, it's all about finding the value. Wherever your value is, wherever the biggest opportunity for you to add value is the biggest opportunity for your business to grow. And everybody was confused about technology, marketing technology for their business. So I was like, well, look, if I could program a missile, I'm sure I could figure out an email autoresponder.
Program a missile.
Right?
He
like
programming missiles.
That's
There are Black men programming missiles.
Programming missiles, yep, programming them all. And so I made that connection and said, it can't be that hard. And I would say to everybody here, the biggest mistake I made was not respecting and paying enough attention to the marketing and sales process of business. I showed up like, look, I'm good at what I do. You're welcome. Pay me now. And it just did not happen like that. It did not happen like that.
Run me my money.
Right. So now I've been able to navigate the space and do enough to get on the radar for some startups. Work with some startups, help them raise some fundings. We're not a little bit now. We're talking about double-digit millions for startups. And now I take what I've seen, the proven processes that grow these startup businesses. It's the same processes that will grow entrepreneurs and small businesses. So now I'm in an education role to be able to speak, teach entrepreneurs how to do what I've done essentially in the last 3 to 4 years.
Awesome. Now, Lamar, you are in a great space as well. You are doing what I think was, I mean, I didn't even fathom it was even possible because, not that I thought, right? But you and your wife have created an avenue for families to come together in a way that I have not seen anywhere else. You guys, you're the creator of Black and Married with Kids. Mm-hmm. You have, and I've just started following you like in the last year. And I'm just like, well, I don't know this dude, right? I started following after I met him. I was introduced and you were a part of the community, but I didn't know what Black and Married with Kids was and what you guys did. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll talk about traffic sales and profits.
Sure. Well, Black and Married with Kids is a site my wife Ron and I started 10 years ago to promote, encourage positive examples, positive images of marriage in the African American community. So since then, we've grown it from a small personal blog to a movement really, with over 500,000 people on Facebook, with tens of thousands more across different social media platforms, with ebooks and audiobooks and documentary films, membership sites, online courses. We do a cruise every year. We're doing our 3rd cruise this year, the BMWK Marriage Cruise. Workshops, boot camps, right? Really just a movement.
I don't know about that girl.
Yeah, Chris know about it. He ain't trying to come, but he know about it. I still ain't seen him on the ship.
I'm
looking for him. I'm looking for him above deck. I'm looking for him above deck. I still ain't seen him and his wife yet. We know this. But we built really just like a movement and even more importantly, a business, because making it a business is what allows us to sustain that. Absolutely. And that's the difference. We kind of came off that talk about ministry versus business. Mm-hmm. When you create a business, you can have something that you can sustain. Because it's hard to sustain the other parts when your rent's due. It's hard to sustain, the other parts when you got to provide for your kids and you can't.
Yeah, my spoiled brat baby want to eat every day.
So really been able to build a business around it because of that. Like now we can leverage that to help other entrepreneurs, follow their dreams. Build influence, and then, like Chris said, you got the greatest product, greatest service in the world, but if you don't know how to sell and market it, nobody will know about it. So that's what we do through our traffic sales and profit brand.
Absolutely. And then, tell me, why was Black and Married with Kids even necessary for you and your wife?
When we looked at starting the site, we were saying, what is something we're passionate about? So if it takes all 4 or 5 years from now, we still even feel like doing it. Mm-hmm. And for us, it was conversations around marriage, around the perception of marriage in the Black community from those outside and those inside of the community. At the time we started 10 years ago, the Obamas were just coming into the White House. Mm-hmm. So we were wondering whether seeing a positive image of a Black couple every day, would that change the perception of marriage in the Black community?
Yes.
And then we just hope they don't do nothing crazy. Please don't let them do nothing crazy. They're gonna make us all look bad. Please don't do nothing crazy. But they held it down. They held it down. They held it down for us.
Yes,
right?
they did.
I'm like, people can care what they want about the politics left and right, but when it comes to, a Black man and a Black woman and a Black family, they were the best to ever do it in that house, at that address. Yes. So even from, that at the time, there were a lot of different news specials going on, and everything is happening, talking about, Black marriage is gone, is dead. Black women they can't find Black men, and there's no men for them. And I remember like Dateline, or somebody ran a special that was like single Black women can't find men. Who's to blame? And I'm like, whenever some guy who's to blame is subtitle, like what kind of content is that? And then Russia Today ran a piece on the single Black woman. And Russia Today don't give care about no single. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so there are no black women over
exactly.
there.
So it was just everybody's jumping on a bandwagon. So we said, you know what? Instead of having that conversation, we're gonna shift it to another one. To show that there are couples who've been married, not just married, but thriving for 30, 40, 50 years.
Right.
And what happened is when we did that, couples gathered around us and said, you know what, that's me. I never see myself represented when I cut on the news, when I cut on the TV. And singles came and said, you know what, my parents have been married for 30, 40, 50 years. So I know that exists. And I know I can have it. And that's our thing. Like, we don't say marriage doesn't have to be for everybody, but it's an option.
Yeah. Right.
And we don't want, like, mindset is everything, right?
Absolutely.
So, you know, we don't want people in our community, because they don't see it directly in front of them, they might see it from, you know, grandma or mom or, you know, aunties and uncles around you. Nobody may be married. Like, a lot of times they can think that that's not even a possibility for them. That's not possible. So we want to just shatter that and say, hey, it is possible. We can do it. Here are people that are doing it. Here are guys that are taking care of their kids and somebody else's kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're a family, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right. And that's important to me. I started off as a single mom, and now we have grown into co-parenting effectively together, which has been an amazing journey into a friendship. An amazing journey into a friendship and making conscious decisions to do what's best for Kayla as opposed to for ourselves, and not dealing with how we feel. And a lot of us in the African American community grew up with, you know, submission being a bad word, right? And then also bad habits like hiding clothes in our trunks, thinking that, you know, we're supposed to be you know, following and leading and not knowing how to do it effectively. So I think that is very important. And in the news today, we have so many news stories about black men, and most of them involve police shootings. And you guys, you know, when you're walking down the street, you know, my dad is 6'5", 280. My twin brother is 6'5", 280. And so when they walk down the street, no one knows that, you know, my twin brother is the biggest tickle me Elmo. Like, he a suspect when he's walking down the street. So what I want to know is, how do you, in this space, you guys walk into a space, and with the money that you have been able to have in revenue in your businesses, how do you combat the stereotypes, and then how are your police interactions, if you have them?
Yeah, I would say, I would like to say that your brother is a threat because of his size.
Right.
But funny story, when I was working at Lockheed Martin, I was going to Target, the local Target. I'm dressed like this. But the difference was I had a badge. At the time, I had a government badge with 2 stars for my clearance. As I'm walking into Target, these they weren't dressed in uniform. 4 people come up to me and hem me up. Now, I don't know where everybody from. Really? I don't know where everybody from.
Target, like, y'all don't have nothing in there over $49.99.
Right. I didn't even get in the door clear. So, whenever a stranger grabs you,
you start swinging.
That's the only reflex I have, right? So immediately, they didn't even get to me. I grabbed them before they grabbed me. So I'm grabbing this, then another woman come, and I'm grabbing them. I got one arm to each, and I'm handling them, but it's 4. And then I'm like, what are y'all doing? And they're putting my hand behind my back. And I'm like, look at my badge. You know, oh, we had a robbery in the area. I'm like, do you really think I could go change my clothes with a government badge?
That's why we wear our fresh clothes. So we ain't an automatic suspect.
Right. So with all that being said, I think that what Lamar is doing is so important because it's shifting that image.
The image.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like what I'm doing, I'm in a space where it's not really diverse. The technology space, we were just talking about Howard, Google and Howard. You know, you're starting to see some movement, but it's so scarce right now. It's so scarce. And when I was in the corporate world, it was like 11% diverse. Startup space, technology, is like 1% diverse.
Right.
So I feel like just me being there, being able to communicate and talk to people who don't look like me, who we would never cross paths if it wasn't for what I know and what I'm doing for a company, and being able to establish that relationship with them is helping shift that image that they see and that they perceive, you know, as reality.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's you know, I always tell people, if we don't shift 2 things in the black community, 2 things we take control of. One is political power, the other is economic power. And that's why we're passionate about what I do with traffic sales and profit, right? Where we help entrepreneurs drive more traffic to their sites, into their businesses, convert more sales, and grow the profit, so that we can build an economic base in the black community. Because without political power, economic power, we'll still be marching 60 years from now, asking people to change this and change that. But without money, you got money, money talk, money moves things, right? So that's why, like I said, I have a community where it's 99% black, and I'm cool with that. And I don't have a, I don't have a problem with that. And I pour out to my community because I want to build up other entrepreneurs. When I go to conferences and events, I don't see a lot of people who look like me.
Right.
So guess what? If we aren't there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that information and bring it back to the community.
Absolutely. That's
Until
amazing.
we can get more of us there, more of us building those things, more of us having that information, and then hopefully somebody will be inspired by me, like my guy Jamal in Chicago, a young guy who I poured into him. Now I see him return that and pouring into so many others, and now he's about to launch a business brand, Catalystpreneur. Right, where he's going out and teaching people to.
We hear the plug.
So
we don't plug,
yeah,
we
you know
hear
what I mean. So it's about just that, of like building up people so they can build up other people.
Absolutely.
That's it.
So how did you guys meet?
We met because we were the only two that looked like at Icon. No, I found Lamar through searching for positive news, and Facebook has so much negative stuff to say. And I was just looking for the first website I came across. I think it was Good Black News or something like that. And I think it was a link to your website, Black and Married with Kids. So I'm looking, and it took me a little bit because I was like, "There's no way. There's a blog.
Black and Married with Kids.
There's no way." So I went there. I looked at the URL, and I'm like, "It's about to be janky. It's about, colors about to be off. The logo gonna be pixelated. Everything." And I get there, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is kind of on point.
Yeah,
and this
like
before y'all had did the website.
Okay.
But you had, multiple colors, and then, I'm looking for a conversion element. I'm like, look at that, the conversion, the button color stand out from the background, right? So it's little things that I was picking up, like, I think they know what they're doing. So, of course, I jump on the email list and start see the sequence. I'm like, okay, the sequence is solid. I'm about to reply.
It is. Like if you click, listen, if you click on an email from Lamar and you don't click the next step, you get an email like, hey, what happened? What you do? How can I help you? Did you make a decision yet?
Yep.
I'm really disappointed not to see you.
Yeah. And I, it sounds bad, but I had already judged them. I had already judged their web. I said, okay, they got the website right. But I know they're emailing together. I know it. So I'm just.
See, he did for all the wrong reasons. The dude is Black and Married with Kids. He ain't coming for no resources.
Right.
He ain't coming for no strengthening. He coming to critique the joint. Like I'm gonna poke the holes.
Right.
I'm gonna find the holes.
And it wasn't no holes, so I literally just emailed him. It was like, hey, I'm Chris. This and that, to see if he's gonna reply. I'm like, all right, he got everything down.
But you know what's funny though? This was funny. And I don't think I've told, because I never heard the back part. I remember Chris' email. I never heard the back part.
Yeah.
But when I got the email, because I get a lot of emails from people like that, like, hey, like y'all doing, look good, whatever, reach out. Especially people got businesses.
Yeah.
So I'm like, here we go. I'm like, let me see what this dude's website look like, right? Dude trying to congratulate me. Let me see what this bad website look like. So
last year you were doing this, or he about to tell the same story?
I'm like, here we go, right? I'm like, here we go. So I click on the joint, and it was like the website was well done. It was good. Then he had great content about email and automation and stuff, and that kind of threw me off because it's not a lot of brothers in the space, and this is still like a few years ago. So back then it was even less. So I was like, all right, like dude, got this joint together. He had like some great content. He had some different like tutorials and stuff on there. So I started hitting up people I knew, like, hey, look, it's a brother, like, check out the site. I started sharing it with them, like, yeah, so that's fun.
Creating fans as you go, as you do it right.
Right.
But you know what, that also talk about having your stuff straight up front. Because so many people, like they're straight, and they imagine, like, okay, when I talk to people, I can share this, and I'm able to share that, and I can convince anybody or sell anybody once I talk to them. But you don't realize you're only talking to 10% of the people that see your brand.
Yeah.
Right, so 90% of those people making that judgment off the break,
Yeah.
and if it ain't good, like say only 10% of those people might be getting through to you that don't care about that or don't know about that, but the other 90% like, this look a little,
right.
Yeah, let me just back up and just test something else.
Got it. Okay, so then you ended up speaking last
Yeah,
year.
yeah. So the relationship really took off when we met personally at Icon, at Infusionsoft's conference. So
Okay.
we stayed in touch, just lightweight. And then I was like, hey, you're going to be at Icon, you're going to be at Icon. And we connected. And from there, it was history, right? So last year, I had the opportunity to come to Traffic Sales and Profit.
Which is your conference.
Yeah.
Talk about that for just a second.
Just coming up.
Yeah. Traffic Sales and Profit is my community. TSP Live, June 9th and 10th, 2-day sales and marketing boot camp. Where we go deep into the weeds.
So I'm going to need you to keep Caleb. Okay.
Deep into the weeds of driving traffic, capturing those leads. Chris came talked about automation last year. We're going to automation. We're going to email marketing, CRMs, landing pages. This year we're going into email copy and landing page copy. I got my guys, the email copy bosses, Donnie and Conrad. I got Amber Wright is coming to talk about. No, it was good last year.
Yeah, it was.
Chris,
oh my goodness.
I got props from Chris, and Chris is a vet in this landscape. So for him to say he was impressed, I was ready. But this year gonna be twice as good as it was last year. I mean, I got Amber. She's a conversation coach. She's coming and is gonna break down like so many people. When people ask them like, "What do you do?" and they just go off the rails, right? They just blah 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 blah. And it's like, okay, let me get out of here. She's teaching people how to pitch that so they can make money. I mean, we got the author of the Profit First book coming to talk about how you can keep profit in your business. I mean, we got my man Ty Ron's coming to talk about selling on Amazon. Amazon is the biggest marketplace in the world.
Yes.
And most black folks ain't getting no pieces of it.
Wow. We don't even know how to get pieces of it.
Yeah, so TSP Live, TSPLiveTickets.com.
And I got to throw something in. We're at EpicCon right now, and we shared the stage. Paul was here yesterday, Paul Brunson. Kiana, you spoke.
I spoke
yesterday
Friday,
too.
yesterday morning. I opened up.
Yeah. So we have 1 hour. Y'all don't understand how hard it is to stick to that 1 hour, especially when we're speaking and we look out to the crowd and eyes is like this. Just pulling on you to give more information. Hold on, let me write that down. So what I really like about TSP Live is that you get that time, right? Like after you on the stage to actually work through some stuff, right? Okay. It's not rushed. We can go deep, right? And it's a safe environment.
8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Both days. Get your rest before you come.
Right.
Get your rest. I had somebody yesterday saying, Lamar, y'all need to make the lunches long. I said, not on my watch. We got stuff. We got stuff to do. We're going to feed you. It ain't lunch. Yeah. You going to do whatever you got to do. You better get back in that seat.
Right. Bring your snacks. Right? If you're a diabetic, bring you some peppermints and some oranges.
Bring you a shot just right in your leg in the middle. In the middle. Don't even walk out the room. I mean, it's $1 million idea. I mean, because it's all about implementation. We did an event in January. One of the guys there, Dino. It was something I covered like in 5. I just ran through it. It wasn't even a focus because that event was focused on something else. I ran through this part about when you get traffic captured. Like I talked about it, but I get strategy. One strategy. Brother left and implements. People come to events like even here at Epic Conference, and they're trying to take in so much great information, and they're like, okay, I got 8 pages of notes. This is awesome. It don't mean nothing if you don't implement it.
Right.
So brother implemented that at our game plan event. One thing, right? Putting this one pop-up on his page with an offer. In 1 month, he told me he started averaging 100 emails being captured every day. Because he already had the traffic. But all those people, like I talked about now, only 1 to 3% of the people convert the first time they get there. Every other 97% just gone. Put the pop-up
Entrepreneurs
up.
are not hearing this?
Started capturing 100 people a day. Then by the end of that month, it wasn't even a whole month. It was like 15 days into the end of the month. So he had like 1,500 new email addresses. Then he had made $3,000 in revenue from people that, a percentage of those people that opted in buying the actual product. Then from those people, the lifetime value of them, because it's subscription box. So they worth more than just that first purchase. The lifetime value of those people, $60,000. Just from putting one pop-up on his page.
One strategy.
I really need to start connecting. So look, because I can hear the session starting up. I want to ask you guys one question because I work with teenage girls, but by default I work with a lot of teenage boys. Because usually they have brothers, and when I go to the schools, they usually want a positive woman to talk to the guys. What piece of advice can you give to a high school boy that you wish you had, or maybe not that you necessarily wish you had, but that you have now that you can impart to a high school boy?
Yeah, this is easy because this is something that I'm intentional to do with both of my sons.
Okay.
And it was strengthening and reaffirming me in my identity. Like, if growing up, the best thing the memories I have with my dad are the times we spent together, and the times where he said, "Good job." Those memories last forever, right?
Yes, they really do.
And when I look back on it, the only thing I wish would have been there. Now, he did better than his dad, so now I'm going to do better than him, and that's how it continues to go on. But I wish that my dad would have really been in tune with my gifts, right? And pushed me in that direction, right? It took me after I turned 18, it took me about 9 years. 9 years to really understand who I was, right? I wasn't a corporate worker. I wasn't an engineer. Yeah, I'm a critical thinker, but where I'm at right now, an educator, helping people understand business, that comes from the heart that I have to help. And when I look, I've always had a heart to help, right? It's just my parents didn't have the tools. More so my dad didn't have the tools to really help me develop that skill. So now with my children, I have a teenager, he's 14, and I'm always asking him, what do you want to be great at? Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about if you've never even seen it. You know, if you want to be great at video games, let's find a video game and let's be great at that. Who knows what doors that'll open.
Absolutely.
But I'm trying to find the unorthodox way and really be in tune with what they're good at and speak to them, to their gifts, so that they can strengthen their identity. So I spent a lot of my time in high school and college trying to be the guy, you know, that I thought everybody wanted me to be.
Right. Wow. Okay. Lamar?
I would just say go against the stream, right? And I think it's opportunity there. I think young guys want success, but they just don't know how to find it. So they kind of fall into a lot of the traps that their peers are doing, right? There's not long-term success, right? So what I always tell guys, if I'm speaking to a group of guys, is don't be afraid to go against the stream of what everybody else is doing, because the whole crowd is going to the left right now. Whenever somebody does break away to the right, there's unparalleled opportunity there for that person. You know, I remember being at an event and a young brother walking by, and we made eye contact, and he stopped and came over and shook my hand and introduced himself. So something that simple had me like, oh, what's his name? I want to help him out. I want to, like something so simple where it just should be the norm. Yeah. But it was something so simple. Yeah. So everybody dressing one way, you dressing another way makes you stand out. It's like the climate now, really, for a young black, like, it's bad, but it's the opportunity is there. The bar has been dropped so low for the expectations of what, even in our own community, we expect from our young black men. The opportunity is there for a young man that wants to succeed, that want to get money, that want to have opportunity. Man, there's people dying to help you. That would give up anything, that want to sow into somebody just like you. Right? You just got to stand out from everybody else. You can't expect to be everybody else and get different results. You do the same things as everybody else, you're going to be doing the same thing, getting the same results. So I would just say, like, step out. Don't be afraid to be different and go after your success. Because there are people that want to help you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I love this. My vision board. I'm literally in my live vision board right now. Like, this weekend has just blown my mind. So, thank you so much. I am Kiana.
What else is on the vision board?
On my business vision board? To, of course, hit my first $100,000.
Okay. That's that number. That's everybody's number, boy. That's everybody's number.
60 is my first number, but 100 is on there for the rest of the year.
1,000. Oh, he needs 1,000?
Yes. I want to hit the New York Times bestseller list with my book. I want to start blogging and writing because I think I have a huge voice. I just a little bit shy on content. And so making sure that I'm pushing myself on that end. I also want to help my daughter create. My daughter loves doing things with her hands. So part of my vision in business is to create something that she can do and that she can love to do, because I really want to foster that entrepreneurial spirit. Because I'm going to be honest, as smart as my baby is, I just don't think college is her track. I just don't think that college is her track, because as much as she wants to learn, she wants to do it in a very unstructured environment.
Hey, that's me.
College provides a lot of structure, and I think that I would rather prepare her to own a business as opposed to going to college. And I mean, that might change over, I can hear people judging me.
You know what? This always tell me.
I really think that that's her route.
College is not for everyone. This is something I'm passionate about, right?
Neither
my wife,
are student loans.
I could talk about student loans, y'all. Me and my wife, 4 degrees between all of us. We're paying 2 mortgages right now. I'll just put it like that. Go ahead.
And that's it. And you know what? Because I'm a cat. I knew what I wanted to do professionally, besides entrepreneurship, like in a career, like in high school. I already knew what I wanted to do. So I got to college, and it was fun as a mom. Morgan State, Baltimore. Shout out to Morgan State. I had fun at that. But for 2 years, I wanted to get into computers. 2 years, I only took 1 computer class because I was taking history and math, English, and I'm like, where the computers at, son? Where the computers? Where the computers at? So I'm there for 2 years, and I'm home during the summer, and I see a commercial that's like in 6 months you could be working as an IT professional. Come to Computer Learning Center. I'm like, bet, I'm out. I'm like 6 months. Because I'm like, I can't do another 2 years of biology and chemistry because I already knew what I wanted to do. Yeah. And in 6 months, I was working. And then another few months after that, I got another certification and did this, another certification did that. By the time my peers graduated, I had a townhouse I had bought and 2 cars. So it's not for everyone. So I want to confirm you in that, like that's for your. I don't care what nobody judge nothing.
And I approved that, and I went to college.
Look, I tell my wife all the time. My wife, she's Spelman undergrad, Penn State master's, electrical engineering degree, master's degree. I tell her, you know what? We got the same job, right? You co-founded joint, I co-founded joint. We got the same job,
same
right?
Destination, different path.
I mean, like, you got the college joints. Let me put my high school diploma, my Saransville high school joint. And then what made her real mad is last year they inducted me into the High School Hall of Fame. Joy was the pinnacle. I was like, I'm in the Hall of Fame. It's like, that don't mean nothing. Nobody know this. I'm in the Hall of Fame, baby.
I didn't know that there was a High School Hall of Fame.
Hey, now they do look it up. Saransville, PG
there,
County.
Like I'm just saying.
Saransville, PG County. Hall of Fame, baby. Bet it up.
Oh, man.
Oh my God, I love this. Thank you both so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Just so you know, the women on my vision board, 2 of them are here, Jay Stone and Danielle Winningham.
Awesome.
I've known Danielle for quite a few years because I reached out to her about a young girl who was kind of going through the I'm fat and black and I got issues. And I reached out to Danielle. Danielle was like, is it because I'm black and fat?
Like, why are you asking me? Like, why you?
I was like, it's because you're powerful. It's because you are transparent.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Like, and she came on, and so she's been on my vision board. I wanted to meet her this year. I was like, I need to physically put my arms around you. And Jay Stone the same way. I wanted to go to my next level with April, which I'm moving to Oklahoma this summer.
Oh,
announcement, right? Because I want to train with her for a while. So, and it's just like bold moves.
Yes,
and so and I wanted to just make a really bold move. And so that was another thing on my vision board. So I'm like really excited because this weekend really was, because Paul was on the list. And I'm at Paul, so I'm just like, all the black men on my list are done. Check.
The one missing is Boris Kojo or somebody right on.
You know what? I used to work for Boris. I was his junior publicist.
Okay.
And he probably does not remember me, but that's okay because I worked for Jasmine Public Relations at about 19. Couldn't get into none of the clubs legally, but she made sure I was there. Shout out to Makita Smith. She made sure I was in all of the clubs and she kept rappers away from me. Like she guarded me. Like,
there we go.
Back up.
There we go.
Wow. But so those are some of the things on my vision board, and then writing some more books. I have 4 bestsellers right now.
Congratulations.
3 are anthologies, and 1, my book I Choose to Be a Lady, was my first solo bestseller, so I'm really excited about that. So that's the one I want to go onto the New York Times bestseller list. I feel a campaign kicking up to make that happen, and so that's it on that.
Did you call for that?
No.
You belong to which group? That one? And
Yes.
This is for a different group?
Okay, we're getting kicked out live. So, thank you so much. Y'all have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.